Grand Final is special. The setting, the location, I mean, this is not an easy damn field. This is a lot of really good players.
There's just so many big names and great players, and so much at stake.
It's very important that I have a chance to become the first two-time winner. I feel like I'm in a great position to win.
So I'm in that place now where my mind says, like, I just deserve to win. I'm thirsty for it. I'm hungry for it.
We're rolling out the red carpet on the French Riviera as poker's A-listers line up for day 4 of the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. Only 6% of the star-studded starting field remain, and among them, some of poker's best and brightest, still in contention for one of the game's most illustrious titles. Last time, it was a double bubble, with Taylor Poor and David Van Ploeg splitting 80th place, not even enough to cover their buy-in. Calvin Anderson had a true roller coaster ride, busting Van Ploeg to take the chip lead, only to be eliminated during the last level of the day. And despite his own bumpy ride, Johnny Lodden ended the day where he began it, as chip leader. No, this is not a rerun from 2004.
And no, we did not invent a time machine.
But there is a distinctly old-school vibe about our feature table, headlined by Daniel Negreanu, John Juanda, and Freddie Deeb.
Those guys have got at least 3 things in common. They all pay really low rates on their car insurance. They've got decades of poker experience, and they're all super, super cool.
But they are going to have to navigate a day 4 field stuffed to the gills with talent. Daniel Negreanu should enjoy the old-school feel, but there's one guy at the feature table who scares him.
Well, there's one player in particular who I don't like playing against, and that's John Juanda. And he's on my left to start the day, and he's a little bit of a pain in my side.
Freddie Deeb completes the set of vets under the lights, while Victor Ramdin will be rocking his vintage out in the field. A host of young talents stand in the way of the old boys, headlined by current chip leader Johnny Lodden, eyeing that elusive title.
I was 19 when I first started playing DPTs. I have been trying to win this for 9 years, so that would be like, it would be so good, so good.
The field is stacked with greats of the game, all want the title and all want a €1.2 million payday. So this is day 4 of 6. We have 31 players remaining, and today we play down to the final 16.
All right.
Canadien aussi?
Je suis né en Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah. Tu?
Montréal.
Montréal, okay.
Freddie Deeb and John Juanda are the other big names at this table. These guys are so 2004, they can even fold ace-king pre-flop.
All right, let's make the final table together. You're usually lucky for me. Like in London.
In 2008, both John and Daniel made the final table of the World Series of Poker Europe. Juanda won it. He is the chip leader at this table. Freddie and Daniel also have big stacks. Paul Volpe and Vasily Fursal making return appearances to the feature table, with the blinds at 5,000, 10,000 with a 1,000 ante. And action's been folded to Fursal in the small blind.
Me and you, bud.
Yeah.
Cheap or more? Okay, not too bad.
Not so bad.
So raised to 27,000.
Yes. Da. I'm in.
Only English.
Huh?
Only
Only English.
English.
Sorry, da is... Ooh, baby doll. Lots of fun stuff there. Oh, I want to bet. I want to bet 37,000.
Ideal spot for Daniel pre-flop, fairly ideal now without even knowing he's dominating.
Little of this, little of that.
A little bit of a value bet and a little bit of getting ace-high hands to fold.
Okay, give him some change, this gentleman here. He'd like some change. Good luck.
He's gonna need it.
Everything coming up Daniel.
Okay, I have to keep going. When you start, you just can't stop. Fire in the hole.
Now Fursal's gotta call.
Fire in the hole. Big chunky card, that queen. Connects with a lot of stuff that could have been peeling the flop. The 10 and the 8, you don't know what I'm talking about. Never mind. 2 contrasting styles here. See, noticing that?
Chatty and not.
All right. To the river we go.
Indeed we do. Top 2 for Daniel, top pair for Fursao.
Terrible card for Fursao. Daniel has to make a value bet.
And he does, 135,000.
And this sizing is perfect. It's hard to fold any real hand here.
Tough one, huh? Close.
But it's also hard to say Daniel's bluffing. Will Daniel talk him into it or out of it?
I think it's 135. Well, before, yeah, I think you only put 130.
Talked him into it. Man, he can talk people into anything. I wish I could bring him on dates with me.
A pot of more than $500,000. And Fursao did about a third of his stack there. Daniel Negreanu now playing more than $1 million and the second biggest stack in the tournament. Destined perhaps to make his second EPT final table?
If you were going to bring Daniel on a date with you, what would the date be? Movie, roller skating? Tag your tweets.
At the secondary feature table, Noah Schwartz has raised from under the gun +1 with Jack-9. Called by Goran Mandic. Action now on Johnny Lodden in the big blind.
Johnny's got the chips, the hand, the pot odds, and the know-how to make this call.
He does call. 3-way to the flop. And that flop is 5-5-7 with 2 hearts.
Johnny's pair to 7 looks like he's going to donk bet this flop. A lot of the time, people are going to lead with hands just like this, hoping for some quick folds, but also not minding a call.
Schwartz with the flush draw calls.
And he's got some backdoor straighties.
Now, Goran Mandic has completely whiffed this flop.
He actually doesn't even have the right color.
He will wisely fold, and we will go heads up to the turn. Literally 50-50. Not anymore. That is the flush for Schwartz.
Now, should Johnny bet? I don't think he expects the 7 to be good very often. He's mostly going to be trying to bluff out better pairs.
Looks like he will bet again. 77,000.
Ask me if Noah's going to fold.
Is Noah going to fold?
No,
How did I let that happen?
Johnny really needs that board to pair again.
It doesn't.
Does he keep firing?
No, he checks.
Noah's got to bet here, and like me, after bringing Daniel on a date, I don't expect there's going to be a call.
The bet is 104,000.
Make it look good, Jonathan Lodden. And see ya.
Lodden folds. Schwartz wins the pot.
Can't win them all, kid.
Noah adds 180,000 chips to his stack. Around 150,000 of those came from Johnny Lodden. He is still the tournament chip leader, but not by much. Negreanu close behind in second, and plenty of guys with close to $1 million chasing his heels. Plenty of the old school guys in the top 10, with Ramden, Mercier, and Deeb rounding off the leaderboard. And 2 of those guys are in action right now. Victor Ramden heads up against Jason Mercier, and Ramden's bet 40,000 on the turn. Mercier calls. The river, the pretty inconsequential looking 6 of diamonds. Mercier checks. And Victor bets again, 130K.
This board is more coordinated than Hardigan's sock drawer. Well, Mercier's got the hemming to lead me to believe he has an ace, but does he have the hawing?
He folds.
Mercier folds, and Victor's vector is up.
You must have lied to me like 5 times.
Can't stop. He just can't stop.
I'm not gonna lie to you again. It's part of his game.
Aren't we allowed to lie in poker? Is this part of the game? So what the hell is wrong with these guys? I was playing the board, but I want you to fold an ace-9 or ace-8. Okay?
Fold an ace king.
Wow. That's pretty strong.
Lying. I'm obviously lying.
5 lies to 1. Nice one, Merce Dog.
Well, Jason isn't the only previous EPT champion still alive. Fellow Team Pro Jake Cody also in contention to be our first 2-time winner, as is Noah Boken. He took down Copenhagen in the first ever season of the EPT. Mickey Peterson won the same tournament in Season 8. We've also got some EPT runners-up, including Steve O'Dwyer. He came second in London in Season 8 and made the final table again in Season 9. We've got an all-in here. Villa Valbeck has shoved with ace-5 and been called by Andrew Lichtenberger with pocket 5s.
Vila's in really big trouble here. This ain't even a race.
Wahlbeck needs an ace on the river. Doesn't hit. And he is out in 29th place, and that is worth 25,000 euros.
Unreal to hit the case 5 in that spot. Strong.
They don't call him Lucky Chewy for nothing, you know.
Oh.
We've got action on the feature table. Alexei Kovalchuk has called all in after Freddie Deeb shoved on him. Deeb with ace queen, Kovalchuk way ahead with ace king.
Domination nation for Kovalchuk. Great spot.
You are ahead right now.
Well, that's a huge jinx.
Yeah.
It did come yesterday.
3 outer, brutal.
Small heart.
Freddie getting greedy. You call for nothing in this spot.
Kovalchuk looking for a king or a jack. He's got 7 outs. Doesn't hit. He's eliminated.
I was gonna say going out like that is the worst, but then I remembered animal testing.
And Deeb will move over the million chip mark.
Thank you, boys.
We didn't know that was coming. You know, I don't even, maybe I'm gotten crazy, but I know what's coming already. I feel like I can tell.
It did come yesterday.
I'm just saying, like, I feel now like when I play,
You're psychic.
I just know what's going to come already. That's how I'm playing. I don't even play good. I'm just playing because I know what's coming.
I'm playing like you.
Right? Like call all in with 9-4 because I know it's coming 4-4.
Daniel, I'm playing like you.
Yeah, you just get it in because you know queen's coming.
He's joking. I hope.
Hello, James.
Ah, Monsieur, très bien. I'm almost ready to order.
Where's my chair?
I think you should be focused on serving your customers right now.
Oh, because I look like a waiter. Well, it's very, very funny, James.
Tell me about today's specials. Talk me through them.
You want to know what the specials are?
I'd love to know about the specials.
Just tell me what you want.
Salad niçoise.
Come on right up.
We've reached the sharp end of the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final, where members of poker's old guard are determined to show the young'uns how it's done.
In the late 90s, everybody who played was like a character. You know, these weren't math geniuses who came from the internet. These are guys who were from Texas and they sort of fell into poker, or you got the Atlantic City kind of hustler like Phil Ivey. Everyone had sort of a story. The older guys definitely have a little more cool to them.
In the old days, we play against different type of players. I guess it's kind of nice when you know everybody. I'm on one table, Eric Seidel is on another table, Daniel is on the next table. It has that kind of like a family feeling, you know?
We are much more knowledgeable than these younger folks. We have to show them that we can play better.
People play much more aggressively now, and the average player today is also so much better than it used to be.
A lot of times the young guys will talk and be like, I'm UTG +1 with like 35 BBs effective stack, calling from the hijack to 3-bet cold call squeeze, and it's like, whoa, bro. How about some old school English? You know, the way we used to say it was like, you know what? I'm gonna call this guy because I don't think he got nothing. I was with Phil Ivey last night and we were talking poker, and we didn't use any of the terms. These young guys, if they heard him talk about poker, they'd think he's terrible until they played him and got their butt whipped. It's not how you describe poker, it's how you actually play it.
This tournament belongs to the seasoned pros, and I hope one of us win it.
You know, in the old days, they used to season things to cover up the fact that they had gone bad. Just saying.
Right now we are kicking it old school and sweating with Freddie Deeb. We're going to play this hand from Freddie's perspective.
Whoa, the last time I sweat with a Freddie was in a place called Elm Street and I got sucked into a bed.
Pocket nines under the gun, a raise to 23,000.
Why do I feel like that's going to happen with these nines?
John Juanda 3-betting from the button makes it 65,000.
Now, even though we're out of position, we're both really deep, so we can make this call.
Deeb does call. And the flop is Queen 7-6. Freddie checks.
Little pot control here is fine.
Juanda checks behind. Board pairs on the turn.
Now, my first instinct here is to bet something kind of small, you know, like putting your arm around a girl at the movies, a little feeler.
I'm assuming this is a girl you've actually taken to the movies and not some random member of the audience. Freddie has bet 60,000.
And man, I really hate my first instinct now. To be honest, my first instinct was to call in hungover to work today.
Juanda is counting out a sizable raise to 180,000.
Okay, so my second first instinct is to say this isn't a bluff, because a bluff here would almost be too obvious. I suspect John maybe 3-bet pre-flop with a hand like Queen 10 and is raising here because it's very deceptive.
How much more you got left?
Either Freddie's asking just to ask or he's about to do something crazy. Either way, I don't like it. I think it's okay to ditch this hand. Think about the people at home. We're playing with you, Freddie. We're playing with you.
Freddie's going for chips.
Oh boy, here we go. Freddie's about to lose his mind. Maybe it'll work.
He folds.
Oh, thank God.
And we're going to see Juanda's cards. A good fold, Freddie. Juanda flopped a set and turned a full house.
Oh, we were right, but for the wrong reason. Juanda was trying to build a pot in case Freddie had a queen. Chased away your action, though, Johnny. Just like me with that girl at the movies.
Ha! We've got another Johnny in action at our secondary feature table. Loddon in the big blind, facing a raise from online qualifier Goran Mandic.
Now, even though Johnny's hand is kind of pants, he can defend if he wants.
He calls.
He is out of position.
He flops top pair and checks to the razor.
And this is an easy call two streets and decide river spot.
Mandic continues for 27,000 with a gut shot. No help for Mandic on the turn. Loddon checks a second time.
And it looks like Mandic is going to keep semi-bluffing.
He bets 49,000. Once again, Loddon calls. The river. No help for Mandic.
8, 9, jack. That's not a straight yet, right?
Loddon checks a third time. Is Mandic going to empty the clip?
He was semi-bluffing flop and turn, hoping Johnny would fold a weak hand. Johnny's hand ain't so weak, though.
He bluffs 82,000. Loddon calls. And Mandic mucks his cards, which means Johnny doesn't have to show either.
Show the 5 only.
Mandic turbo mucked as soon as Johnny called. Someone tell him the other card was a deuce.
Loddon on the ascent again. His stack up to nearly 1.3 million. To the outer tables now, where Steve O'Dwyer has just been 3-bet by Jake Cody. An EPT bridesmaid against an EPT bride.
Ugly.
O'Dwyer calls the 3-bet. These two are going to see a flop. And that flop is King Queen 10.
Another coordinated flop. All we're missing is the flush draw.
O'Dwyer checks. Cody does not continue. He checks behind. It's a 6 on the turn.
Oh, there we go on the flush draw.
O'Dwyer checks a second time. Delayed C-bet from Cody, 68,000.
Now, if Steve's calling, I'd expect him to have no worse than a flush draw, though usually second or third pair.
O'Dwyer calls. And it's a 3 on the river, not a heart.
Total brick.
O'Dwyer checks a third time. And Cody checks it back. Cody shows a 6. Ace-queen for O'Dwyer.
I don't think Jake's checking thinking he has much showdown value. I think he just didn't want to fire another barrel. And getting Steve to fold there would have been like trying to get James Bond to go to AA.
Jake Cody not having the best of days at the tables. Things going significantly better for Steve the Hairy Beast O'Dwyer. He now has 1,020,000 and is one of 5 players in the tournament with a 7-figure stack. Johnny Loddon is still at the top of the leaderboard with 126 big blinds. Behind him, Goran Mandic and Daniel Negreanu. Vandersmissen facing an all-in here from Noah Boken, one of our remaining EPT champs.
Vandersmissen's got him dominated, and he didn't get much camera time on the feature table, so I say go for it.
He calls.
And Noah's about to be broken-hearted.
He hits his 10, but Vandersmissen hits his jack. Hope of a split?
No, chop it up. Just chance, no river, no river.
What?
Just chop it, bro. No, it's a chop, buddy. I bet.
No, it's not. Don't get me wrong, everyone loves a chop pot, but that was not a chop pot. Noah Boken is eliminated.
Oh, the system is Boken. Nice try, Noah, but the cards have Boken and they say you're out.
Which means we're down to 25. One more elimination and there'll be a redraw. And there is an all-in. Luke Schwartz, the player at risk. Ace-Jack against Victor Ramden's King-6.
Victor's behind, but a loss here shouldn't hurt his stack too badly.
Victor pairs his 6.
He's got Luke over a barrel now.
At least Luke sees the funny side of it.
Ace, though.
Still one card to come, Mr. Schwartz.
Yeah, I've won.
It's a deuce.
Schwartz stole that pot on the turn like a cheese sandwich.
That was reaction when you won. I didn't want it if you had lost. I was like, whoa, that's respect.
A minor dent to Victor's stack. Besides, he's got much more important things to think about.
I had a disastrous 3 years of my life, really, really bad. My son was very sick. And when you have distractions at the poker table, it doesn't help you. He has cluster headaches. Think of like someone beating your head with a hammer. This is what it is. He didn't go to school for 2 years. Usually, he can't even look at the TV yet. Sometimes he's in bed right now with headaches. There's no cure for it. You don't know what to do when it starts happening. Something magical happened during the holidays of 2012. I was praying every day that he gets better, and he is better. Michael is doing so great now, and I'm happy for him. We expect him to have ups and downs because it does not go away. My biggest motivation right now is to make sure he can be able to get to college. That's why I am feeling so good about myself this year, because I think I've gotten over the biggest hurdle in my life to make my son feel better.
Victor's helped thousands of children in Guyana and the States thanks to his charity efforts. It's great to hear his own son's finally getting the help he needs.
Blinds are up to 6,000, 12,000 with a 2,000 ante. Action on the feature table has been folded to Daniel in the small blind. 8-9 off. He limps. Juanda in the big has King-Jack.
Juanda could raise this. He could also check his option.
Those are raising chips.
Been a while since I heard from you. It's been so long. I was waiting for you to raise me one time.
I don't know what I was doing. I knew you were gonna call anyway.
Yeah,
I still raise.
That's a great reason to raise, Daniel.
Top 2 for Juanda, bottom pair for Negreanu. Action's been checked to John.
Great spot for a C-bet.
He continues for 50K.
Daniel might think a pair is good here a lot.
He calls. Ace of hearts on the turn.
Terrible turn for both players.
Negreanu checks. And Juanda checks behind. A 10 on the river.
Another bad card for both hands. Daniel can check for showdown value or turn his hand into a bluff.
And that's what he's doing, betting 85,000.
Johnny might be able to sniff this out, only because I think Daniel might play a jack the same way, and a jack is most of Daniel's range.
Jack, king something. Turn it into a bluff. Nope. Such a good product. What can you be bluffing with here? You must have something here.
What do you have, like ace-7? Something
no,
like that?
Much better.
You have 2 pair? And you're thinking with 2 pair?
No, like top set.
Okay.
Will you be betting 2 pairs? Yeah, that's...
You can beat 2 pair?
That's the thing, yeah? You might be betting 2 pairs.
Not sure Daniel would bet 2 pair, and even if he would, there's exactly 3 2 pairs that John's beating.
Nah, you'd be worried that. All right, Paul.
Wow!
Nice bluff.
It was a nice bluff.
No showing cards.
Show me the bluff.
Can't do it. No, I've showed every hand. I get to choose which ones I show. It doesn't work like that. I don't have to show every one.
I had such a big hand, he had no idea.
Yeah, so big, yeah.
I should have bet the turn.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not telling. I don't have to tell every time.
I had such a big hand.
It's not in the rules.
First rule of EPT, don't talk about EPT. Oh wait, we're going on a break. Talk all you want.
Did you know Roger Moore lives here?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, right? Considering all the James Bond movies that took place in Monaco.
Like what?
Like the poker scene in Casino Royale.
That was Montenegro.
Like the poker scene in Live and Let Die.
Those were tarot cards.
What about Moonraker?
Are you confusing Monaco with outer space?
Yes.
Joe, I get angry when people get Bond wrong. The only 007 adventure with a scene in Monaco is GoldenEye.
Did you know Roger Moore lives here?
For heaven's sake.
Are you positive that Moonraker did not take place in Monaco? It is spacious.
Time to shake things up here at the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final as 2 players have just been eliminated. On the feature table, Gerard Gardelli fell to John Juanda. While out in the field, Jake Cody picked off Francesco Paolo, leaving us with 23 players over 3 tables. This meant a redraw and a new group of players under the spotlight. Daniel Negreanu's nemesis John Juanda is out in the field, but Kid Poker has a new set of foes to deal with. Well, those foes include Victor Ramden, Kevin Vandersmissen, and Andrew Pantling. Plus, he's got chip leader Johnny Lodden to his left.
I'm crazy. I know it. Like, for real. Like, not just saying that.
Yep.
If some people are just crazy. I have to be. The things that go on in my head, if you knew, my God, they'd lock me up.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, you'd laugh, but you'd be scared.
No, definitely laugh. I'm sure of that.
We know everything. You tell everything loud as well. You know that.
There's been a raise from Dario Sammartino. A 3-bet from Victor Ramden, who's got queens. Negreanu folds. Ace-queen suited for Vandersmissen.
A lot of strong hands here.
He calls the 3-bet, and Johnny Lodden's got ace-king in the big blind.
A lot of strong hands here.
A cold 4-bet from Lodden to 188,000. That'll get rid of Sammartino's king-10.
Does Victor try to get in a 5th bet?
He just calls.
Maybe hoping to keep in any weaker hands. Vandersmissen has the worst hand, but he's getting the best odds.
He also has position, and he calls as well. We're going 3-way to the flop.
Big hand evolving here.
600K before the flop? I'd say so.
The flop. Ace, Jack 5.
Lodden manages to outflop Ramden, even with 2 of his outs gone.
And even though Vandersmissen's flop top pair, he's got less than 1% equity.
Yikes.
Lodden does not continue, he checks. Ramden checks as well.
Now, I hope I'm not just saying this because I can see the hole cards, but Vandersmissen should be checking this faster than I check my cell phone when someone starts talking about their kids. Like, no time at all.
He's betting.
What are you playing, Vic?
Ramden the effective stack with around 750,000.
740, 750.
All in.
Lodden shoves on both of them.
Johnny's decided now's the time to make his move, and he especially wants Victor out since he'd be getting wicked good odds to call.
Ramden folds.
Vandersmissen now maybe has to call for the same reason.
I don't know if I can fold with ace king.
Maybe.
Well, when he asks that, Johnny gets to breathe a huge sigh of relief. And this is why you can't bet the flop here. The pot just becomes too big. Then getting bluffed becomes a total nightmare. And we know Vandersmissen is missing 2 of his outs.
He calls.
And he is drawing thinner than a stick figure.
Just 1 out.
Victor had queens, right?
Queens.
Must have been queens. Only hand he can fold there.
1 out at one time.
Too deep for you to even consider doing anything stupid. After I see these 2 hands, oh my God.
Don't give me a king, please. Yeah, give him a king 1 time.
King gives Vandersmissen 3 outs in the river instead of 1.
It's a 10.
Ooh.
Don't give me a king.
Flippity floppity.
That gives him 2 outs now.
Uh-oh. Johnny's scared.
Now I'm scared. I wasn't scared about the queen,
Yeah,
but the
yeah,
king I was
queen.
scared of.
It's a deuce.
And Vander Smissen is dismissed. He's out of here.
Oh, it was good to see the ace in the door there.
Yeah,
I was
I
just
bet.
giving up to
In a
you,
huge
Victor,
pot,
and
yeah.
then-
2 people behind you.
And Vander Smissen will now be missing from his seat, missing from the table plan, and missing from the whole flipping tournament.
He will be collecting 30,000 euros, though, for his 23rd place finish.
Will Vander miss ya?
Action on Dario Sammartino. He folds.
That was sick, though.
So sick.
Ramden raising with 9-7 suited.
Got tilt. Cool, we can say that now.
Andrew Pantling is calling on the button with ace-7.
What is it?
Pocket force.
Loddon calls as well.
It was just so hard to give you credit for a big hand there. With your
Of course I have a big hand.
Huh?
If I raise, I have a big hand. You know that.
Got condescension. 3 marginal hands going to the flop.
And Pantling flops best.
He flops huge with top pair and a weak flush draw.
Action checked around. Jack of diamonds on the turn. Loddon now taking a stab at this. 57,000. Victor folds.
And let's welcome the newest wizard to the table, Andrew Lichtenberger. Off to put on his robe with the giant sleeves, I assume.
Pantling calls Loddon's bet, and we are heads up to the river.
Top pair still good.
Eight of spades changes nothing.
Top pair still good.
And Loddon betting again, 123k.
Trying to get Pantling to fold some middle pair, but he's got a pretty easy call with top pair.
One pair.
He does call.
You both have 1 pair, you tie. Just kidding.
That's, you just blow it away again.
Easy come, easy go.
Vic, why didn't you bet the flop? Then I fold.
I bet my own hand.
He didn't bet the flop because he bricked harder than a stonemason.
Well, despite that small hit to his stack, Johnny Loddon is still chip leader, overwhelming chip leader with more than 2.25 million. The old school fellas are 2, 3, and 4 on the leaderboard, followed by Pantling, O'Dwyer, and Mercier.
Terrible draw for Jason Mercier means great TV viewing for you. You're welcome.
But at least Jason always knows.
And I would have to agree with Jake Cody. This table is absurd. And have you heard, James? Absurd's the word. I said absurd. Absurd's the word.
You can recycle Family Guy gags like the best of them. Luke Schwartz is all in again. And Paul Volpe's called.
Somehow not dominated one time.
Show me.
I just have to hit 3 across.
I would say good luck, but I wouldn't mean it.
Just got to peel 3 across.
Schwartz survived his last all-in when he was ahead.
That's a bad flop, man. Do pair the board, something. Or spade, though. Yeah. Oh, that's a decent. Now what do I need? King's no good. No, that's not even good. I needed a
Deuce 3.
I needed to pair the deuce or 3. Or 8 deuce 3. All right. Game, buddy.
Good game, bud.
Cheers.
Seat open on 2.
Luke Schwartz has been eliminated. Lock up the cheese sandwiches. Extra security on the cheddar.
Paul Volpe up to 302,000, but still reasonably short stacked. Well, let's head back to our feature table because there is another all-in. Daniel Negreanu has called the shove of Ismail Bojang, and Daniel's way ahead.
Can I ask for one time?
You go for it. This would be a good time for you one time.
One
He's
time,
asking
Diva.
for 1 time. You have suited? I have suited. Do what you gotta do.
Oh, come on.
Spades. Wow. What a sick flop. And you got a club. How about the jack of clubs or the king of clubs on the turn? Something like that.
King.
Yeah.
King.
That's so pretty. Sure.
It's over.
I gotta go for the royal.
Okay,
Sorry,
give
buddy.
him the 10 of...
Not even
Good luck,
sorry.
guys.
No, I'm not sorry. I don't want to say that.
Come on. Split.
But I thought you wanted the king. No, but it's a... Oh, flush.
Too little, too late.
Can I have my money, please?
Okay. How can you get ace king?
How can you get it? He just wanted like $8 billion pot.
So Negreanu Buster player, he's having a good day 4. Earlier he played an interesting hand against John Juanda.
Going into today, I knew I'd have some problems with John Juanda on my left, and this was the first scenario where everyone folded and I was in the small blind. I pick up 8-9 offsuit. You know, I'm not gonna fold that.
I was in the big blind with King Jack, which is, you know, really good hand against a limper. So I raised the pot.
You know, you can make an argument for folding here, but I like to see flops. That's my thing. So I decided to call.
Been a while since I heard from you. It's been so long.
And the flop comes down, King Jack 8 with 2 hearts. This is pretty standard for me. I'm just never gonna fold a pair here. He's gonna bet every hand that he raised with and try to steal it, so I call.
Well, I figured, you know, he had maybe pair of jacks, or pair of 8s, or flush draw, or maybe even a straight draw.
The turn card is not a good one, because it looks like I'm dead.
Now, that ace would have completed a straight draw, and it would have completed a flush draw too.
I was completely committed to just folding if he bet. But then he checked behind. I was like, okay, well, I'm still dead. But the river's a 10. So now I thought, okay, well, I check all the flop. There's a lot of hands I could represent. I bet 85,000, thinking it looks very value bet-like. If he just has an ace, he'll probably fold. If he has 2 pair, he'll probably call me.
Now, if Daniel had checked, I might put in like a small value bet there. But to my surprise, you know, he came up betting. Hey, you'll be bluffing right here.
Tanked for a long time, and I tried to like talk him out of it a little bit, and was like, blah, blah, blah.
You have like ace 7?
No,
like
much better.
You have 2 pair? And you're thinking with 2 pair?
No, I'm like top set. I wish I had called that hand because there were a couple other hands that he could have had that I didn't think about at the time.
Finally, he folded.
All right, 4. Nice bluff.
Phew. It's an old school table. Johnny Lawton's considered old school now. What are you, 29 or 30?
Soon to be 28.
Got old school Victor, old school Freddie Deeb, old school John Juanda.
Include yourself.
Yeah, no, I will. I would.
Those guys are so old school, they could be played by Vince Vaughn, Will Ferrell, and Owen Wilson. We're not even enrolled in the college.
Action here is on old school Freddie Deeb. That is a 3-bet from Freddie. The original raiser was Goran Mandic. John Juanda called his 32,000 bet. Big blind folds. Action back on Mandic.
Here we go. Choo-choo.
This
Re-raise.
is a 4-bet to 232,000. Juanda's out.
This is a small 4-bet, and Deeb's getting better than 4-1.
Deeb calls. More than $500,000 in the pot already.
I check.
Deeb checking in the dark.
Not usually a sign of strength.
An 8-8-3 flop. Mandic will continue. 125K. And Freddie folds.
Instant fold.
On the secondary feature table, Jason Mercier has raised. Noah Schwartz has shoved. Jake Cody in the small blind will reshove. That'll get rid of Jason.
Noah's gonna need an arc to get out of this one, or, you know, just an 8.
I should have folded this one.
Calling in cold, table 2.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
You need the 8 of spades.
Yeah, story of my life.
Noah Schwartz drawing to 1 out.
It was folded.
Yeah, probably.
Boom!
Oh my god.
I take it back.
Jake can still win with a king or a queen. It's an ace. Wow. Noah Schwartz hits a 1-outer and doubles up through Jake Cody.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Now playing 593,000. We'll find out how you can get live updates during the European Poker Tour by going to PokerStars.com.
Merci.
I don't want to know.
It's not that bad.
That's just page 1. That's the total. That was 20 euros worth.
Great.
Just 20 remain at the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final, and leading the way is tour veteran Johnny Lawton. Johnny's taken a commanding chip lead and looks set to make his second EPT final table.
It's always embarrassed to say, but I only made 1 final table in the EPT, and I played a bunch. so my stats at EPT is no good.
With such a big lead over his rivals, he'd be disappointed to miss out here. Blind's currently 8-16. There was a raise from Pantling, a 3-bet from Loddon. Pantling called the 3-bet out of position. We're going to the flop. King 8-6. Johnny flops a straight draw.
Pantling really should be tightening up now that he's sitting to the right of the chip leader, but here we have him raise calling pre-flop with ace tray.
Loddon continues for 76,000.
And we know Pantling to be a pretty stubborn creature. I would expect a C-bet to win this almost every time.
Hang on a second.
I would expect a C-bet to win this almost every time.
Not this time. Pantling raises to 214,000.
Johnny's draw is super disguised. He's probably gonna stick around.
The weird thing is, although Loddon is the statistical favorite, Pantling currently has the best hand with ace high.
Yeah. Semantics.
He's bluffing with the best hand. Loddon is counting out the call. We're going to the turn.
And this pot is getting huge.
Queen of spades. Pantling will bet again. 200,000.
Wow, I actually love this bet from Pantling. When Johnny calls the flop, he looks super strong, so this bet looks even stronger, especially betting into the spade. With no spade in his hand, Johnny knows he could have dirty outs, if not already drawing dead.
Loddon folds.
All right.
You like the turn, Andrew?
Yeah, I can't bluff either otherwise.
Pantling now second in chips.
That's a good turn.
Shoving in if it wasn't a spade.
No one could ever accuse this guy of not calling a spade, huh? Huh?
On the secondary feature table, Paul Volpe is all in. He's got it in good with kings. But Clyde Foe has hit a flush on the turn. Volpe needs a king or a 4. He doesn't hit.
Well, if Paul's Captain America, he just fell to the Red Skull, who is ironically his foe. Nailed it. Up top, Hardigan.
I'm not touching you.
Don't leave me hanging, bro.
Back to the feature table. And another all-in. Darius Sammartino, the player at risk. Victor rammed in ahead with ace-jack. Sammartino does have 2 live cards, but ace-high still leads after the flop.
Like that patchy facial hair, this is not looking good for Sammartino.
He's got 6 outs. Needs to hit one of them on the river. A 14% chance of survival. He's out.
We are losing players left and right, and we are down to the last 18 of the grand final.
I would have won big. 6-5 of diamonds. 6-5 of diamonds.
See? Even the pros do that, say what they had after the hand. It's not just the fish.
That was a big hand for Victor, by the way. He almost doubled up to over $1 million. Sammartino walks away with 30K.
Yeah, it's fun.
Gruesome taking a break from the 25K high roller.
Is 19 left or is it 18 left?
18. Juwanda's coming. So 3 6s.
Musical chairs. Music stops at 16.
A few hands ago, Mickey Peterson was crippled by Noah Schwartz, and now Mickey is forced to make a stand with 8-10. He's going to get called.
That's fine. That's fine.
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine, you blow my mind.
Hey, Mickey.
You should have said you're gonna need to beat jacks. Good luck, bro.
He needs it.
That's a start, kind of.
Could be worse. I love the sweat.
That's not a fun card.
Mickey needs an 8.
All right, good luck, guys.
Game, bro.
And so we lose another one of our former EPT champions, Mickey Peterson from Team Online, out in 18th place.
Hey, Mickey, you're so out. Where are we at on remaining champ watch?
We've got 2. Jake Cody, playing around 250,000, and Jason Mercier with just over $1 million.
Jake Cody, the shortest stack in the room, 1 elimination away from the end of the day.
And back at the feature table, we're going to sweat with Johnny Loddon. We're only going to see Johnny's hole cards here. An opening raise from Andrew Pantling, 35,000. Johnny's in the small blind with ace-10 off.
I like a just call here. We don't want a 3-bet when we're both so deep. Why risk a ton with an ace that's good but could be dominated?
And Victor will call as well from the big blind, 3-way to the flop, which is ace-high, ace-9-7.
Perfect spot for us to check and potentially call a bet.
Both Johnny and Victor check. Andrew Pantling Continues into two opponents for 76,000.
We want Pantling to continue with his worst hands.
Loddon calls, Ramden folds.
And I kind of like the same strategy for the turn.
The turn card pairs the board, 7 of clubs. Johnny checks a second time.
And again, I think we're perfectly cool to call a bet here.
Pantling will fire again. 141,000.
That's over half the pot. Still think we have to call. We can reevaluate on the river, though, depending on what hits. You know, an ace could just hit. Then we don't have to reevaluate anything.
Johnny calls again. 551,000 in the middle. One card to come. And that card is the 3 of clubs.
Complete brick, and so I like check calling a third time, depending on the bet size.
And there's the check. Will we see another bet from Pantling? And if so, how much will it be?
That's a pretty big bet.
280,000.
But for some reason, I feel like Pantling could be pretty wide here. I know he likes to raise all of his aces. Pantling knows we probably would have 3-bet ace-king and ace-queen, so he might think our range is pretty weak.
Loddon calls. Pantling tables 8-7 for trips.
Oh, ugh, I am the worst. Nice turn. How bad do we run? Jeez. Hold on, I gotta make a phone call. Yeah, I know. He caught the second 7 on the turn. It's unbelievable.
Well, that was a huge pot, and it sees Andrew Pantling take the chip lead from Johnny Loddon.
Johnny obviously regretting that call, or maybe just regretting the turn card coming out.
Meanwhile, breaking news from the outer table. Kevin Isofano eliminated in 17th place.
Absolutely brutal coming so close, but going broke so far from the final table.
And with Kevin's elimination, we are down to the final 16, and that will do it for day 4.
Come on, boys. Old school gotta win this one. We can't let these youngsters beat us.
It's already done.
Old school
My
will
coach
take
Rodney,
this one
my coach
down.
Rodney said it's already done. We're gonna have fun tomorrow.
Yeah,
almost there.
Can you tell him to take it easy on me? Tell him to take it easy. Tell him just take it easy on me, okay?
2 more days.
2 more days. Okay.
So 16 remain from the 531 who started. And in the bottom half of the leaderboard are Steve O'Dwyer and former EPT champ Jake Cody. The top half of the leaderboard is headlined by Andrew Pantling. And despite a difficult end to the day, Johnny Loddon's still up there.
Right now I'm feeling like I did a really bad call in the end, and no, the last level for me was cruel, but I still have a bunch of chips, but I just annoyed by myself because I put him on the exact hand he had and I still managed to just call. Tomorrow's a new day, and then I'm gonna hopefully finally make it to the final table.
Next time, things get heated as the final 16 fight it out for a place at the final table.
I said I got a 5. Why you go like this?
Once you're in.
And I said I got a 5. You make it sound like it's good.
Okay.
I said 5 3 times.
I've been sitting here all day waiting to slow roll you.
That's not the point. What happened then?
I tell myself jokes sometimes. I make myself laugh.
And expect the unexpected.
You guys are witnessing the sickest hand in EPT history.
Oh my God.